today on 15 on 15.
The board of Colegio Arubano clarifies on the issues that led to the students protesting. Also, the mushier you are on social media, the better the relationship. And the new dog law is there to make sure that your dog can live a better life.
Hi and welcome to another edition of 15 on 15. I am Ichelle Simon sitting in for Daniela Piazzi. Aruba's water supply company, WEP, is already preparing for the next Green Conference. Aruba is considered a front-runner in sustainable energy. WEP is striving every day to keep the production of water and electricity as efficient as possible and less dependent on fossil fuel.
Cleaner, greener, and oil-free. That has been the philosophy of WEP Aruba for years, as they're getting closer to be more sustainable and less dependent on fossil fuel for their production. The world has been affected in the last couple of years with the fluctuations in prices of crude oil, and WEP also took in consideration if the idea of going greener is still what the company would aim for, looking at the sudden price drops of oil recently. But the company thinks that they cannot gamble and expect that the prices will stay on that average, so they have to continue investing in new methods to keep the production going for the Aruban community. WEP Aruba is already preparing for the 6th edition of the Green Aruba Conference, and they believe that this is the best platform for networking.
And continuing on, the protest that the students of Colegio Urbano held yesterday, the board of directors of the school held a press conference to clarify on the issues that led to the protest by the students.
According to those present at the conference, this was an unnecessary protest based on a bunch of lies posted on social media created by the teacher who did not agree with the rules that was recently implemented by the principal of the school. They reiterated that the Colegio Arubano has rules, just like any other school on the island. First, the board did not agree with the ambience that was created during recess on the school premises, since the music was too loud. It was disturbing and had to be stopped. Second, the principal made it clear that as far as he knows, there are no rules as to what language had to be spoken at school. That lie was created on social media as well. To clarify all the mishap, the board had to explain to the students that all said on social media was a lie and that they mean no harm. Most of the students understood and resumed their regular classes. The principal admitted, though, that cell phone charging on school grounds had to be stopped, since that would sure put a toll on their electricity charges.
And the 4th Green Education Symposium is going on at the National Library of Aruba. This year, the theme of this symposium is Healthy Soil, Healthy Living.
Lots of students from different schools of Aruba will attend the 4th Green Symposium during this week. Various topics that revolves around the theme of healthy soil, healthy living will be discussed by various prominent speakers of Aruba. For example, desalination of conditioning of drinking water, how to achieve sustainable fertile land, also how the environment plays a role in keeping a piece of land looking healthy and clean, and how industries in Amsterdam are using plants and other natural processes to keep their place clean. At the end of the day, all this information shared with the students at this Green Symposium will benefit them in their schoolwork.
And it seems that parking areas in the main street were not sufficient to accommodate the number of employees that are working in the area of Oranjestad. Aru Parking did not foresee this and decided to make more areas available to employees in the other parts of Oranjestad, especially in the area of Lagoonweg, where more shops and offices are located. So, with the creation of more parking spaces for employees that work in the neighborhood of Lagoonweg, that means more parking is available for those customers who want to visit Oranjestad for either a service or to shop. Now let's take a quick break. This is what's coming up.
When we come back, we will let you see how Animotos can help the visually impaired see through dark spaces.
Welcome back from the break. Let's move on to our latest lifestyle topics. First off, let's talk about love. Well, on social media, a new study on cyber relationships finds out if couples who get mushy on social media are actually more in love. Check it out.
This study from the Albright College finds out what is the science behind all those heart-eyed emojis. Everyone has those Facebook friends whose entire digital lives consist of boasting about their significant other. Whenever you are logged on, you see a status proclaiming the love for each other or constant photos of their romantic excursions. It might just actually be that simple, that they are so in love, they really want to tell the world about it. Researchers found that those who were more satisfied in their relationships were likely to post affection status updates and couple photos.
And although you might be madly in love, psychotherapists suggest to be cautious with social media since the internet can either help or hurt a relationship. On another note, if you suffer from travel sickness, this new method may be the way to ease your symptoms.
Whether you're traveling by plane, boat, or car, motion sickness causes mixed messages coming from your ears and eyes. It leaves the brain confused about what is going on, which leads to nausea and headaches. New research suggests that using electricity to stimulate parts of your brain may ease the symptoms of motion sickness. A mild electrical current can interfere with the messages arriving from the part of the ear which controls balance. The study is also investigating brain stimulation for nausea after cancer chemotherapy.
Although the method is not approved yet, the research is promising. Now let's talk about when you're trying to navigate through a crowded city that can be challenging, especially for those who are visually impaired. A doctor from Yale University sets out to find out the solution.
This tool helps visually impaired individuals easily follow instructions. It is a 3D printed device called Animotos, which sits in the palm of your hand and changes shape to guide you to your destination by touch. It communicates in two ways. First, the top piece twists right and left to indicate the direction the traveler should turn. And secondly, it slides back and forth to show how far in that direction it should move. The ideal next step is to enable it to connect to a smartphone so it can work as an alternative to staring at a screen to find a new location.
Although this device is far from mass production, the tool is envisioned to help both visually impaired and sighted to find their way. We will be right back. This is what's coming up next in the segment.
The family of the late Hilbert Cruz honors him with a foundation on his birthday.
The task force on the new dog law that was recently instated by the police department is active now in the neighborhood of North doing their inspections to see if the community is responding to this initiative.
This task force started functioning in July of 2015, and after 3 months, they completed 3 neighborhoods of the 11 the task force has on its plan. 96 warnings and 5 police reports were handed in that period. The task force's main goal is not to hand out police reports, but to inform the community how to better take care of their dogs in a responsible way. For that to happen, the community has to be conscious as to what to do when they acquire a dog as a pet. Certain guidelines have to be followed for the safety of the dog, like proper shading, good food, and fresh water. If the owner does not have a fence in front of their house, make sure that the chain is 10 meters long and the area is more than 2 meters wide. The other option is a kennel, ample enough so the dog can stay comfortably. The law is there to protect the dog so it can live a good life. The task force concluded that Aruba has 1 dog for every 3 residents on the island, and the platform wants to see this number go down to an average of 1 dog for every 8 residents. Having a dog as a pet is a responsibility, and the task force wants to make sure that everybody understands that.
And we continue with the Prince of Music. The late Hilbert Cruz got a foundation under his name. The act was signed on September 7th on his birthday.
To share his experiences with young talents that he acquired during his musical career. That is what the legendary Prince of Music, Hilbert Cruz, always wished for. And even though his life was short-lived, his legend will remain forever in the hearts of the Aruban community, thanks to the cultural and musical heritage he left behind. This is the prime objective of the Hilbert Cruz Foundation. The founders were his brothers Maikito Cruz as president, Aldre Cruz as treasurer, and his cousin Gisette Cruz as secretary.
We would like to wish the Hilbert Cruz Foundation a lot of luck in the future and keep inspiring young talents with that magical musical touch of Hilbert. Well, That is it for tonight on 15 on 15. We'll see you back tomorrow for more on ATV Channel 15. Bye-bye for now.